Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Copper Jacket TV. So today I've got some big news in regards to legalizing suppressors in the state of California. And with the Hearing Protection Act possibly becoming a reality very, very soon, the timing on this one couldn't be any better. So let's talk about what's going on. Now, real quick before we get started, this channel is proudly sponsored by Attorneys on Retainer. Listen, if you're somebody who carries to defend yourself or your loved ones, or maybe you just keep something in the home for home defense, you need a membership with Attorneys on Retainer, because heaven forbid the worst actually happens and you have to defend yourself. You could still be the one that ends up in handcuffs, and you're going to need good quality representation. Attorneys on Retainer, who is backed by Attorneys for Freedom, is the only law firm in the entire country that does nothing but self-defense cases. So if you were a member of Attorneys on Retainer and something like that happened, all you have to do is call the number on the back of that card. You speak to an actual attorney, giving you instant attorney-client privilege, and they will be there to defend you through the entire process. They also have things like civil liability coverage, red flag coverage, and more. Online education and training. It is honestly the best peace of mind that you will ever have in your wallet. Definitely check out the link down below. I've got some savings down there as well. Become a member like me of Attorneys on Retainer. Okay, so let's go and talk about what's going on here. So about 3 months ago, I made a video talking about a case called Sanchez v. Bonta. This is a case that challenges the ban on suppressors in the state of California that is currently sitting before the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. And the update that we have today could end up kicking this case across the finish line. Now, Sanchez v. Bonta is a very interesting case. Basically, Mr. Sanchez wanted to 3D print and use a suppressor. So he applied to the federal government to be able to do that and was subsequently denied because they are illegal in the state of California. Noticing that his Second Amendment rights had been infringed, he decided to file suit in district court. Well, the district court decided to dismiss that case with prejudice, claiming that suppressors are not arms, they're just considered accessories. Therefore, the state of California is allowed to ban them, and that was it. Well, thankfully, Mr. Sanchez decided to appeal to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, but here is why this case is so interesting. Mr. Sanchez was representing himself. Okay, he was on his own. He had no major 2A groups or no advocacy groups that were backing him up. This was him taking on the state of California. Well, something interesting happened once it got up to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, and this is what the CRPA has to say about it. So this is an article directly from the CRPA. It says, Mr. Sanchez appealed, and after a briefing was complete on February 3rd, the Ninth Circuit issued an order stating that it was inclined to appoint counsel to represent Mr. Sanchez in his appeal and set a new briefing schedule. This is somewhat of an unusual move and strongly indicates that the panel is looking to make a procedural decision. We reach out to Mr. Sanchez to offer our assistance, and we being the CRPA, because of the broader implications that a case like this could have on the rights of all gun owners in the state. As a result, CRPA's lawyers and Michelle and Associates, which, by the way, is absolutely the best when it comes to Second Amendment litigation, will be joining Mr. Sanchez's new legal team and will work to prepare a new briefing alongside lawyers with the law firm Cooper and Kirk. While it is always an uphill battle in the Ninth Circuit, we are excited for the opportunity to establish that suppressors are undoubtedly arms subject to the Second Amendment's protections, and bringing these vital safety instruments one step closer to legality in California. So as you can see from that article, Mr. Sanchez basically went from representing himself to now being supported and backed by some of the best 2A litigators in the entire state of California, including the CRPA. But we still have to contend with the fact that the district court and plenty of other courts in the state of California consider suppressors to be accessories and not arms, and they use that to uphold the ban in the state of California. Well, thanks to a motion that was just filed at the Fifth Circuit by the United States Department of Justice, we now have the DOJ saying that suppressors are in fact arms at the Fifth Circuit. So now that can be used in support of Sanchez v. Bonta. So it says right here in the motion that was filed at the Fifth Circuit, the government's view is that the Second Amendment protects firearm accessories and components such as suppressors. As a result, restrictions on the possession of suppressors burden the right to bear arms and a ban on the possession of suppressors or other similar accessories would be unconstitutional. Now that's huge. That's a statement that I never thought I would hear in my lifetime come from the DOJ. But at a time when you have a case like Sanchez v. Bonta, where the state is saying, oh, they're just accessories, they're not arms, having the DOJ come in like this at the Fifth Circuit and say that they're in fact arms and banning them is unconstitutional plays really big into our favor. So again, we had a case that just started off as some dude that wanted to do something, couldn't do it in the state of California, and so he decided to bring a lawsuit. He takes it up to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals on his own, ends up getting the backing of major law firms and the CRPA, and then after that happens, the HPA ends up getting passed by the House. It's now on to the Senate and other committees. The president says that he plans on signing it if it makes it through the Senate. And then you have this, the DOJ saying that they are protected by the Second Amendment, which is absolutely phenomenal. All of these things work in our favor to hopefully get Sanchez v. Bonta through the Ninth Circuit and potentially get a win. Now, I know a lot of you are saying I wouldn't hold my breath. I'm right there with you. The Ninth Circuit will find any way possible to try and uphold state bans. That's just what they do. Whenever it comes to the Second Amendment, they just try and see things through the lens of advocacy and not through the Constitution. But regardless, this is a case then that would be probably ripe for maybe the Supreme Court. And maybe the Supreme Court can weigh in on it and say that, hey, if the Hearing Protection Act is, if suppressors are removed from the NFA and now they're just considered to be regular arms that are protected, you can't ban an entire class of arms. They said that you couldn't do that in Heller. And so, yeah, this could be a perfect case to end up overturning bans in all the states that have bans on them. So we'll see. Either way, it's a big help to have the DOJ say something like that, especially when this case is where it is at the Ninth Circuit. So I wanted to make you guys aware of that. This is a very big deal. Hopefully we can, help legalize and normalize these things in all states. But it looks like California's got a little bit of a head start here. So I wanted to share that with you. I want to thank you all very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please like, subscribe. You guys have a great day.